Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So we got Plan B here on Twitter, new chart, Bitcoin market stages, and he has color-coded them up here in this tweet. We can see, as per this chart, guys, we are now entering the early bull phase. So more confirmation here suggesting this. We've seen this 3 times before, back in 2011, 2012. That bull phase back in 2013, we saw us getting into stage 3, which is the yellow. And then finally in 2016, 2017, all the way ramping up all the way up to 2018, which was the top of the bull market. And then late 2019, early 2020, and into 2021, the beginning of the bull market for the last bull run. So guys, now we're in early 2023 and we are starting this. This is kind of an interesting time because there are still a lot of investors, a lot of people who were into cryptocurrency before who are still just not buying it. So he says, this is my favorite chart after the stock to flow based on one on-chain variable, not prediction, but detection. If you like this kind of stuff, and he says he will update this. So the Wolf of Wall Street's asking, were these dots done on the monthly? And yes, Plan B did respond. The dots each represent 1 month of time. So, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I'm feeling like, the majority of people do not think we are going to go any lower than this point here for Bitcoin, about 15,500, which is what we saw back in November after the FTX collapse. We have been moving up since then. We have been reaching some targets, like this level of resistance here when Bitcoin did hit 25.2. We pierced right through that. And just yesterday, I was talking about this formation here. Again, just going to go over this real quickly. This formation looking very, very bullish. We're not seeing any huge retracements to the downside, which is good. This setup looks like we are about to move to the upside. Bitcoin right now is, at the time of this recording, trading at about $27,800. And I know we have seen higher prices for Bitcoin, $29,400 almost on this particular exchange. But guys, this is par for the course. This is a healthy looking rally. And I mean, this new market stages chart also suggesting that we are in the early stages of a bull market. We've also noticed something on the XRP chart brought to us by XRP Crypto Wolf on Twitter. Check this out, guys. After ending March with a rise of more than 40%, the XRP price entered April with a small fall. At this time, though, historical data suggests that it is in the 4th month of the year that the major price action for XRP should occur. Based strictly on previous periods, it is likely to be positive. So just taking an average of XRP price since 2014, okay, and taking a look at April specifically, okay. So this is the column here for April, and you guys can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and technically this is positive, plus 0.79% in 2019. That's what we saw in 2019, albeit not by much. But the other years where we saw growth, 3.13% in 2015, we saw 137.3% in 2017. In 2018, we saw 63.1%. In 2020, 21.5%, and in 2021, 174.1%. So even if we do see positive movement for XRP, chances are the gains for this April won't be as large as in 2024 and 2025. This is what I'm projecting, just based on the 4-year cycle. However, we could still see, something similar to what we saw back in 2020. A little bit of a gain. The other thing I wanted to bring to your attention, guys, is the month prior. So March, in 2021, we saw a bullish month. In 2020, we saw a negative month, but still saw bullish action here. In 2018, we also saw a negative month in March and bullish action, but in 2017, we saw a positive month in March and positive action. But again, negative in 2015, negative March, and a positive April. So chances are we are likely going to see, just based on statistics, we still don't know, we are going to see a bullish XRP. Let me throw this on the daily here. This is XRP on the daily. And even just without looking at that chart here, you guys can see bullish momentum to the upside. Let me just center that. Get it center on the page. Bullish momentum to the upside, as I mentioned before, right? This is a bullish pennant pattern. You guys can see that better on the 4-hour. It's funny how that drawing just looks so scribbled when you extend the chart out. But there we go. Bullish pennant pattern holding this level of support here now. And so XRP holding this level, really kind of dipping down and testing this former level of resistance that we saw just last month, March the 23rd. So that would be at about 49.5 cents, 50 cents, give or take. So my guess, XRP going to hold this level, or at least going to try to hold this level before we continue to make our way to the upside. But the bullish pennant pattern is looking very, very promising for XRP. So I wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf for posting that. Also from Dark Defender here, guys. More predictions for XRP price and these potential waves breaking out. Okay, so he says we currently are in wave B of wave 2. Okay, so he's drawn something a little different here. Wave 1, that first big wave up, and then wave 2 looks like we have to calm down a bit before we reach that new all-time high in wave 3. So he says we are currently in wave B of wave 2. XRP will try to break 59 cents once more. Technically, we can reverse from there and retest 48 cents, which we're doing right now. I mean, really, we're doing that right now. But I mean, we could, see this trading kind of do this for a little while before we finally break out to the upside for the wave 3. After this move, the third wave will target 89 cents and then $1.42. So he's looking at former levels of resistance. 89 cents would be in and around here. And so again, that would be the next level. And then 142 would bring XRP right at the top up here. So these are the next two levels of resistance that we have to break through. We still have a long ways to go. But guys, something else that I found interesting here from Matt CR here on Twitter, XRP addresses with USD balances that are greater than 100,000. I think this is my favorite chart of the day because although it does look like the XRP graph in a lot of ways, although this high was larger than the 2018 high. So let's just take a look at that for a second. Okay, this is from Coinmetrics. So it looks fairly similar to the former bull market and then the bear market and then when we saw intra-year highs in 2021. But guys, notice in 2021, the numbers are far greater than what we saw in 2018. So this would suggest more addresses holding more XRP. Again, this is addresses with USD balances of greater than $100,000. So in the last bull run, we saw many, many more XRP addresses with more XRP holding more than 100,000 XRP. This is very bullish for the cryptocurrency specifically. And even look down here, okay? I'm just going to show you guys this example down here when we compare that to the XRP chart, okay? So you can see this structure here. We've been looking at this for several months now. This pop up here that we saw in September and then November, we dipped back down. We were kind of trudging down in and around here. And now we're making our way up, but we really haven't gotten up past this level. We really haven't made a significant move to the upside, something that we can deem notable. Nevertheless, on this chart here, guys, take a look at the XRP addresses. This same structure here, that pop in September, coming back down in November. But take a look at this in March. More XRP accounts than even just last September 2022, hold more than $100,000 balance of XRP. So, when I was talking about the inflows and how XRP has kind of knocked it out of the park in terms of investor inflows, guys, this is a visual demonstration of that on a chart. So wanted to thank Matt CR here just for pointing that out. We've also got more Flare and Spend the Bits updates, new listing on Flare.builders. More news from Spend the Bits. We're yet to confirm if they'll operate on Songbird as well, but hopefully Jay Spend the Bits can confirm either way. Thanks for building on the Flare network, and Spend the Bits did put out a little statement down here. We're happy to share that we've officially initiated the proof of concept for integrating the Spend the Bits app on the Flare networks or with the Flare networks. By leveraging Flare's trustless transaction capabilities, we can offer a more secure, transparent, and efficient Bitcoin payment solution through Spend the Bits. This integration will enable more transparent, immutable, and verifiable transactions. So a brand new update from the Spend the Bits project. Again, this is going to be part of the way people are able to make payments. I mean, Bitcoin has traditionally been very, very slow. And so, companies like Spend the Bits have found new solutions. This one specifically runs on the XRP ledger. So sending Bitcoin now over the XRPL fast, securely, cheaply. This is going to be the future for payments. So I wanted to thank Flare.builders here just for letting us know about that update. Also happen to see this, guys, from the Wrath of Kahneman Ripple user PaySend and Card2Card, an international payments platform, is solidifying transfer services to the Latin American region. So PaySend, a Ripple partner, they are now expanding bank account transfer capabilities to Latin America. PaySend, the Card2Card pioneer and international payments platform, is solidifying its money transfer services to Latin America by enabling U.S. customers to send money to Latin America quickly, securely, and for a low fee through transfers to bank accounts. Since launching transfers to bank accounts in the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Jamaica, and Mexico in 2022, U.S. customers will now be able to transfer money to friends and loved ones' bank accounts in Bolivia, Colombia, Peru, Uruguay, Brazil, Chile, and Argentina. So, it starts off small. It starts with these Caribbean nations and Mexico, and then it builds out, guys. And I feel like, we're seeing this more and more. PaySend, just another company. Just the other day, we talked about Tranglo and how they are now branching out into Europe, another huge market. and that's for ODL specifically. This is particularly card-to-card payments, so a bit of a different application, but PaySend is another Ripple customer. And guys, here is a quote at PaySend. We understand that remittances play an important role for our customers in supporting their loved ones. This coming from Yero Riveros, head of Office of Strategy Management at PaySend. Given the current macroeconomic conditions, transferring funds play an even more important role because it's being used to cover necessities like food and housing. By offering card-to-card and card-to-bank or card-to-digital wallet transfers, we're making it easier and more affordable for our U.S. customers to send money back home when their loved ones need it most. So this technology really does level the playing field in a way that dare I say, benefit some, but really may hinder the overall system. And I'm looking bigger picture here, guys. May hinder the overall system as we move forward through this economic revolution. And the reason I say that is because now we're coming up with reasons and ideas as to why, new, faster, instant payments could actually, in fact, like for example, the other day I was talking about it could create a run on the banks and make it happen even faster than what would normally occur. So, it's a double-edged sword. I feel like this technology is always a double-edged sword. I mean, for people who are using it, the end user, most people, they just want to send money fast and they want to send small amounts of money, a few $100 or maybe $1,000, $2,000 to people overseas, and they just want that money to get there. Most of the time, those types of applications are very, very beneficial for most of the world. But, it's like Uber. When Uber first came out, we thought, oh, wow, what a great technology. Look at how great it is. You can basically just call a car on your phone and you can hop in, you can go to where you need to go. You don't have to, call a cab or anything like that. But then with that came problems with the taxi industry. And I mean, certain cities have been handling that better than others. The saturation of the market. So, it seemed like any Tom, Dick, or Harry could become an Uber driver. So then the quality of drivers went down. And I mean, these are the bigger picture problems that we don't really see when we think about the technology and how beneficial it is. And I think the same is going to happen with payments. But again, the double-edged sword, more XRP utility is going to happen through the XRP ledger once we do see more of these partnerships explode. And guys, this is exactly what we're seeing. So I wanted to thank the Wrath of Condiment for pointing that out, just for letting us in on that. Now, Ashley Prosper is giving us an update on her FOIA request. Okay, so the FOIA update regarding any communications the SEC had with JP Morgan about Ripple and or XRP. The SEC says they have received the search results and are reviewing them. These are apparently a large number of records requiring confidential treatment. So, as you guys know, she has put in a FOIA request, getting some more communication between JP Morgan and the SEC about Ripple and XRP. And here's the response she received. Thank you for your email. Our estimated completion dates are based on the best information we have available at the time of your response, but they are only an estimate. Your request is moving forward through our normal process. We recently received the search results, and we are now in the process of reviewing the records. Based on our initial review of the records, it appears that a large portion of the records will require that we engage in the CT substantiation process, which involves records for which confidential treatment was required, blah, blah, blah. Engaging in this type of consultation will add approximately 60 days to the review time. Can you please advise to whether you are willing to exclude information for which CT was requested to speed the completion of your review of your request? So I'm happy Ashley is keeping us updated on this. It would be great to see this communication, although I'm wondering how much is really going to be redacted from this. I will keep you guys updated and wanted to thank Ashley Prosper for her ongoing work, keeping them honest. Wheezy at Nerd Nation Unboxed with another update here, guys, from John Deaton. John Deaton explains why Judge Torres is delaying the ruling. So we're all kind of waiting with bated breath, and we thought we were going to get some kind of closure by the end of March. Unfortunately, we did not see that. Now, the timeline has been extended a little bit, but not by much, at least not as per John Deaton. So check this out, guys. Several XRP community members have recently taken to Twitter to ask why Judge Annalisa Torres is yet to issue her ruling in the lawsuit between Ripple and the SEC. And John Deaton came out with a video clip basically stating that the judge is under pressure. Here is a quote. What I doubt very seriously is that Judge Torres has ever felt the pressure that she is feeling right now. Ripple is sending, hey, judge, look what the judge in Voyager said. Look at what the Supreme Court said about fair notice. Look at the SEC's conduct. Look at Binance. Look at the CFTC. And then he goes on to say, so this decision is as big as a decision that this judge has ever faced. Think about it. What other decisions are as big as this decision when it comes to global trade and finance in modern history? So, John Deaton brings up a very good point here. Link 2 also put up a clip during an interview with Thinking Crypto. Attorney John Deaton said he expects a ruling favorable for Ripple any minute now. And so there's a bit of music behind this clip. It's only 25 seconds. I'm just going to turn it off and read you guys the subtitles in case the music is linked to a copyright strike. So what I've been telling people is that somewhere between March 6th and May 6th. So John Deaton's even saying March 6th, May 6th, we will get a ruling. He goes on to say, it could be today or it could be May 6th. All we can do is say, if you look at her previous cases, this is the general timeline for the summary judgment decision. So he's just taking a look at, former Torres cases and making an estimation based on that. Now, Jeremy Hogan was a guest on a podcast here, and he gave his interpretation of what could happen next.
Right. So your initial statement is correct. A settlement, there's no appeal of a settlement, of course. The problem with the settlement is it has no effect on any other cases in the space, right? So if Ripple settles with the SEC, it has absolutely no effect on the SEC's next lawsuit against another crypto company. So in a sense, it's good for Ripple, but a settlement between the SEC and Ripple is bad for crypto.
Correct.
Because in the past, remember, every lawsuit that the SEC has brought in the past against these companies, no one has really been able to put up a fight. I mean, Library put up a fight, but they only had like $1 million to fight the SEC, which in the legal world is not a lot of money. Ripple's put $100 million into fighting the SEC. And the facts for Ripple are pretty good, better than for most crypto projects. So this is the case where the SEC could what they're doing could be put to an end with the Ripple case, because that will then be the end of the SEC being able to make some of these arguments they've been making in the past. So if Ripple settles, all of that money for the crypto space is wasted. Now, they would have to do what's in the best interest of the company, but at the same time, it's not going to have any effect as far as the other, as far as crypto in general. If the judge rules in Ripple's favor, I do not think the SEC is going to appeal. And the reason I say that is because there's no benefit to the SEC to appeal, because if the case then goes up to the Second Circuit in the appellate court and the Second Circuit rules against the SEC, now that becomes binding precedent. And the SEC is screwed as far as any other lawsuits that they want to bring. So if I'm the SEC, and I'm 90% sure this is what they would do, and they lose, there won't be an appeal, because they don't want to mess up their whole agenda here in enforcing these regulations against the crypto space. So in my mind, the only way we get the Ripple test is if Ripple loses at the trial court level, appeals it up to the Second Circuit, because then Ripple will do it because they have the money and they have the incentive to do it. Right. And they're going to want the Second Circuit to say, no, we're going to replace the Howey test with the Ripple test, and we're going to require an investment contract to actually have a contract. So that's how that would all work. Now, time-wise, we get the judge's decision, let's say in April or May. The Second Circuit wouldn't be hearing it till next year. And if it goes up to the U.S. Supreme Court from there to really replace the Howey test, we're talking 2 to 3 more years from there.
Well, let's hope it doesn't go 2 to 3 more years from there. Jeremy Hogan bringing some great insight, though. The biggest thing that I wanted to point out was the fact that the SEC will likely not appeal the verdict if the judge does in fact rule in favor of Ripple. That would mean very, very quick clarity for XRP, opening up utility across the United States. And essentially globally, I'm sure there are even other countries around the world that are still very apprehensive, or companies even still very apprehensive, even if they are not located in the United States. Maybe they do a lot of business with the United States and are still not adopting RippleNet in its true capacity to which they would if they did have the clarity. Jeremy Hogan's timeline to April, May, and notice as well what he said about, the crypto industry and the fact that a settlement would be in the SEC's favor, but that could hinder crypto regulation moving forward for the rest of the companies. It would be beneficial for Ripple. So, XRP hodlers, guys, we're in a pretty good position here. We're in a win-win situation. We are, if you're just thinking about your pocketbook and the XRP, we would want them to settle, because that means every other cryptocurrency is on the chopping block, and XRP would be the only one with clarity. More people would likely invest in XRP, pumping the price even higher. However, and this is still not a bad situation to be in, Brad Garlinghouse has said on the record that Ripple will likely not settle unless XRP had that clarity. So it's anyone's guess what happens next. Keeping our eyes open for that extended timeline, April, May. According to John Deaton, we should hear something by May 6th. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.